AskReddit. What is the biggest everyday scam that people put up with? Ticketmaster and their sale policies. We arrest/fine/ticket people who scalp outside of venues, but it's perfectly legal to resell the tickets on Ticketmaster or StubHub because the website gets a kickback, and that's just messed up to me. Also processing/convenience fees when no other option to purchase exists. Cell phone data. They sell it like it's a finite resource, like they'll run out if they give you too much. But yet if you don't use it all that month, none of it rolls over. In Canada we also pay the same amount of money for 2 GB that other countries get 100 GB or more for. Not sure how scam this is considered, but internet package prices. It is super easy and cheap to provide basic internet speeds these days with the foundation we've already laid, so when ISPs charge insane amounts for a mediocre package, that's very much abusing their regional monopoly powers. Renting your Wi-Fi router from the cable company. Not sure how this hasn't been mentioned yet, but you'd pay for one in less than a year if you just bow it at the start. Why can't we live in a world where we don't have to expect that any call from a number not in our contacts is a scam or spam 99% of the time? Paying a giant cable bill to watch commercials. Yup, the original selling point of cable was no ads. How quickly we forget. If you tell the truth I won't get mad, which usually turns into no, I'm not mad, and then 2 minutes later, I just think it's funny how. Documentation fees when buying a car from a dealer. When I bought my car in August, I hammered out all the details before closing on Tuesday, leaving with a written price and a promise to come back the next day with the check from my credit union. Wednesday morning I come in with everything ready, only to have the person looking at the final paperwork with me quickly gloss over the $150 documentation fee. I stopped them there and said I'd brought a check for $X, not $X plus $150. They insisted it was necessary and non-negotiable. I insisted I'd take my business elsewhere. Have a good morning. They hemmed and hawed about it, but eventually got permission to lower the price of the car $150, so my check would be enough. I tend to let people walk all over me, so I was really proud of myself for standing up this time. Bolt-on fees for bullshit that takes no time at all and generally doesn't have material cost. Booking fees and the like. I'm looking at you. Convenience fee, processing fee, administrative fee, late payment fee, early payment fee, fee. Apple, orange, lemonade drinks, contains 0% juice. Paying service fees when paying for something online. Delivery charge on tickets that you are printing at home is another one. Direct-to-consumer prescription drug marketing. People shouldn't go to the doctor and ask for a drug they saw on a commercial by name. That's just insane to me. Commercials like that are illegal in my country. You can only advertise over-the-counter medicine. I'm not sure this qualifies, but payday loans. I haven't ever done one, but they are obviously all over, and they prey on poor decisions made by poor people. Hundreds if not thousands of % interest, just because people can't get out of the trap that they put you into. Predatory lending is just awful. People get into this routine and can't get out because they are drowning in fees. Diamonds artificial scarcity. Black Friday sales. The thing that made me realize how ducked it all is was working in a furniture store. We were selling these small storage ottomans for Black Friday. Regular price $39.99. Sale price $19.99. You know how much we paid for them? A ducking dollar. I'm breaking my NDA by telling you all this, lol. Textbooks, at least at US universities. Depending on the subject they can cost anywhere from $100, $400 USD per book. New editions are released annually to ensure that the content remains up to date. and the price remains high. For an egregious example, I had a graduate level economics course that required a $300 textbook, $150 when rented for the semester, which actually had an international version available online. That was the exact same book, but instead cost $60 retail. The only thing is that the book was listed as being not for distribution in the US. A few weeks ago I was in London, enjoying many of the completely free museums they have to offer. I wondered why such world famous museums would be free when they could easily charge money. I saw a sign that said, "This museum is made free due to lottery funds." And I thought it was really cool how lottery taxation and profits in London go towards making something so amazing free. I don't know how much lottery money in the States really does go to helpful causes, but I hope it's a lot and isn't just a scam. Paying for parking at a hotel you're staying at already. Multi-level marketing schemes. Similar schemes bankrupted entire countries before, but they somehow churn along just fine in the form of Amway. Edit. People have been asking for an example. Read a little bit about the Albanian Civil War, or listen to it in video format. And thanks for the PMs. Close bracket. Junk is approaching you at the train/bus station with a bullshit story like, "Hey buddy, I just worked a 12-hour night shift and I forgot my cash at home. Could you give me 50 cents so I can grab a coffee and a ticket to get home?" It becomes a bit awkward if you see the same guy with the very same story 3 days in a row. 10 years ago I visited Leeds in the UK. On my way to the station a man approached telling me he needed 20p to get his bus home. He'd forgotten his card and thought he had the right change. I didn't have change, so apologized and moved on. A year ago, 9 years later, I was in the very same station, and he was still there. He asked again for 20p to get home, and explained the situation. I had to give him the money. Can you believe it? He'd been there for 9 years and nobody had given him 20p. Built-in obsolescence. Consumers spend good money to buy products that are designed to fail or become obsolete in order to stimulate further sales. Not only that, but replacement parts become unavailable or are so expensive to buy and install that consumers end up replacing the item completely, even though it should have much more useful life. The fact I am getting 5 to 10 spoof number spam calls a day now. That should be punishable by mob beatings and being fed to pigs. Edit. To make matters worse, I have a small business and advertise my cell number. So I have to answer every call all courteously because it might be a new client. Somebody called me the other day. I answered in hopes of pressing 9 or whatever to be put on the do not call list or get a real person and say take me off your list. They usually just hang up immediately, but whatever. It was a real person that got a phone call from my number. I was pissed off to be getting calls. Now I'm more pissed that my own number has been used for this spoofing sheet.